Yeah, dude. So, I don't know where Hugh is right now. He'll probably walk in. He'll probably stroll in about 15 minutes. But I'm just Bill Byrne today. It's just me. It's just Travis Grant. Guys, thanks for listening to the Treading Water Podcast. 1 o'clock every Thursday. It's me, Travis Grant, and not Hugh Murray. He'll be in a little bit. And if he's not, well, then who cares? You know? Maybe he's... No, I'm kidding. He's not relapsing. I know he's not. Because he's a good guy. He's got like a year clean. If he did relapse, I'll be upset because he's a good guy. And I feel like you don't really see people that you want to relapse. Like, you know what I mean? You never see someone that you want to relapse. There's only 2 people that I hate. Like in midlife, I really hate. Like if they came in here, I'd be like, get the fuck out. And they don't even drink. So it's like you just, like, I hope they try heroin. Put heroin in their soup, and then maybe they'll do that. It's crazy. I'll heroin soup. That probably tastes like you would know you're getting drugged if it is heroin in your soup. I mean, like, oh, tomato. It's heroin. Is heroin in this soup? Yeah, man. Heroin's different than Coke, though. Coke is like, yeah, no, I don't even know what the fuck that is.
That's one of the owners. Be nice.
Oh, I don't know. Who is that handsome Adonis? Who is that handsome, chiseled Adonis of a man? Nah, dude, Coke and heroin are different. My thing's Coke. It could grab you. It could. Coke is weird, though, because Coke is like, you know what, drugs are weird because when you hit that point of, like, being able to say the word relapse and it gets bad, like, you're pretty weird with it. Like, you're doing it alone. I remember, like, when I got really, like, my worst stages of Coke, I would drive around. So I would do so much Coke that I would be nervous about being around anyone. So I wouldn't be able to go to bars because I would get nervous in public. I wouldn't be able to do it at my house because I would be like, what if someone comes to the door? So I ended up driving around doing Coke by myself in my car. And I would go to gas station bathrooms and do it and drive around doing it by myself.
Wow.
That's what I would do. That was what I would fucking do. And dude, I've never become so efficient at driving, looking at the rear view mirror and not crashing my car because I was so scared of someone being in the back of me. I was like Henry Hill from fucking Goodfellas, just like, who's there? Who? Dude, I'm not fucking with you. Like that's what I would do.
What's it like driving on Coke? Like, you know, drunk driving's bad, but is it the same thing, or are you like super focused? Like what? I have no idea.
Oh, it's exhilarating. It's exhilarating. Bumping like heavy metal rock, just like. Dude, just being a fucking psycho behind the wheel. You're not driving crazy. You're very just locked. You're locked. But you are fucking, you're in another lane. You're in the 4th lane.
Would you consider it safe? Or just you're safe? You're not worried about yourself?
Oh, I'm worried about myself.
Oh, you are? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried. Oh, yeah, I'm worried. I'm real worried. I remember, so at the time, towards the end of it, I was working for this medical company. I was delivering medical equipment to hospitals all around the state. And I was driving around this huge Sprinter van that was considered a truck, so I had to take the truck routes all around the state. And I had a huge Sprinter van filled with very expensive medical equipment, driving it around, yipped up on Coke.
Holy crap.
And if I made a slight turn, all the equipment would... So I had to just white knuckle it on a fucking pin nail, just like across the state, having a fucking heart attack. And I lived like that for 3 years.
No kidding, really?
3 fucking years.
Wow.
I'm not going to name the name of the company.
Right.
Because they knew I was a comedian. They're like, if you say our name, we will sue you.
Wow.
And it was wild, dude. It was crazy. It was fucking nuts. And it was funny. So then I upgraded. So I took my cousin's job, which is a laser technician. And they moved me up to the operating room. So I was operating machinery in the operating room with doctors, high on coke, dude. High on coke.
Come on.
No shit. And I had a mask and these x-ray goggles, so they never really got a good look at my face. But they're like, hey, is it all good over there? And I'm like, beep, 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 firing lasers on coke. Just like, it's up to 50 watts. And it's just, these lasers shooting out of this machine. And I'm just like, look at that laser. Wow. Look at this fucking laser.
That's how people like getting the wrong surgeries and shit. Probably because of you.
Dude, I'm just shooting lasers high on coke, dude.
You think you're Darth Vader or some shit.
Oh my Lord, it was nuts, dude. Sometimes I was taking Snapchats like my friends are like, you're a maniac. What is wrong with you?
Wow, man. Just
banged up over the 2 nights.
Trying to hit somebody's nipple with a laser or something?
No, they were putting the laser in the guy's dick. It was for kidney stones. For kidney stones. We were zap out kidney stones. That's what we do. Kidney stones and prostates. Because men's prostates enlarging.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we'd have to zip out like pretty much, just like the fatty tissue that builds up. Oh. So I saw a lot of dicks on coke. And let me tell you,
that's the life of a porn star.
It was weird seeing so many dicks on coke because it was like, wow, that dick's way bigger than mine right now.
But it's not weird seeing a lot of dick if you're straight?
More so on coke. I was like, these old guys got dongs. I got this little coke dick.
That's your new name.
That's
your new name. Hey, here comes good old coke dick.
Dr. Coke Dick. Paging Dr. Coke Dick. Dr. Coke Dick, we got a real scene in here.
Good old CD, there he is.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. It was so wild, man. It's crazy. I remember, what else? It's so wild, man. The shit that because like when you do so much coke, you get to a point where you're doing so much coke that you're just in like one lane and everything's just flying by you and you're focused on just one thing. You're able to do crazy things.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how you're able to do it, but you're able to do it. Like I remember one time, this is when I drive a Jeep Wrangler now with a soft top so I could take the top off. I had just gotten it and I went to an open mic and I was taking the top off. I was showing it off to everyone. And then I ended up doing coke till 9 a.m. and I was too high to get it back on. And I had to drive to Ocean City, Maryland the next day with my girlfriend. And I was too high to get the top back on. So we just drove to Ocean City, Maryland with the top off, dude.
Was she complaining the whole time?
I picked her up. She didn't know I had even gotten a new car at the time. So it just looked like I stole a car. Just white knuck on it. I pulled up. I was like, get in. Get in. She fucking gets in. She's like, can you put the top down? And I was like, it's going to be fine. She knows I'm on coke. She's pissed. So she's not talking to me the whole way. We hit the Throg's Neck. It starts torrential downpouring. Starts torrentially downpouring. Our luggage is getting wet. She's like, our luggage is getting wet. I was just like, we just got to make it through Jersey is all. Just hold it together.
I'm cold and wet, you asshole.
Eventually, we pulled over like 2 hours through. It rained for 2 hours. We pulled over under a bridge. She's like, switch. I'm fucking driving. I passed out like in the rain. We get to sunny Maryland. I'm fully rested with another bag of coke in my pocket like, oh, we're here. She's like, yeah, we are fucking here. I was like, let's go. Like in a good old mood.
And she's got pneumonia.
Yeah, she was upset. And then
Shocker.
And then we went to Secrets. I drank, did more coke, and then I gave her some subpar wienering. Yes. I hope that picked. Someone said no in the background, and I said yes. To subpar wienering. I heard that on Instagram. Subpar wienering. That's a thing. You know what? I don't want to be able to use it more in a sentence, but
What does that mean? Are you talking about your dick? Like
Yeah.
you gave her like bad sex? Is that what you mean?
yeah, like just like a half chub.
Well, she had a great time. It sounds like.
Oh, she was not happy. And we were in the beach too, so it was like a beach wiener. It was like a salty half chub. She was like
A salty half chub. Words I didn't think I'd hear today.
a salty half chub, dude. Like, listen, there's like a handful of times where I have never seen someone more upset with me. That was one of those times. We were there for 4 days. She probably spoke like 30 words to me in 4 days.
Wow.
She was so upset. Ooh.
Damn.
Yeah. She was a smart chick, too. She knew she could have done better. Better than a subpar, salty half chub.
With a wet Jeep.
What a wet Jeep. You know how bad a wet car smells? We had to dry all our clothes out on the fucking balcony. She was like, what the fuck is this kid? Oh, man, dude.
That's crazy.
It's so funny, dude. It's crazy. You're only able to get away with that in your mid-20s. Once you hit your late 20s, chicks are not putting up with that.
Yep.
And they could sniff, if you are one of those guys in your late 20s, a chick will sniff that out easy. So I don't recommend it.
It's
I
true.
don't recommend being one of those guys. Because by the time you guys are in your late 20s, they've already been through like 2 or 3 guys like that. And they're like, I know what you are. Goodbye. See you later. Like, even if you do coke around them once, they're like, because nobody does coke regularly. Like, okay, I'm going to take that back because I'll probably get eaten in the comments. And they'd be like, Theo Von Wannabe's just wrong again. Some people do coke regularly, but I would say more people do it abusively than regularly. So the chances are you're probably doing it like a scumbag. That's okay. That's okay to do it like a scumbag.
Yeah, but you're right. At that age, late 20s, especially by the time they're 30s, they're looking to, they want the ring, they want the kids.
It's done. Yeah, they want the ring, they want the kids. And I get it. I get it. It's like you have the clock. You have the clock ticking. You want things to happen.
Right.
Organic. You want like timeline wise, you want it to happen the right way. And that's fine. I understand that. Like that's like I definitely get it. I was talking about this to comedian Mike Mancusi. I was in Texas with Mike Mancusi, and pretty much, I mean, his girlfriend didn't break up with him because he was raging cokehead, but it was like similar. Like, hey, I want the kids and the marriage on the right timeline, and you're not giving it to me, and I know you're not going to be able to give it to me. So see you later. And yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow, but it's like I get it. You can't get mad at him for it. I 100% get it. It's just it's just a shitty pill to swallow. Just tastes bad going down, but it is what it is. Yeah, no, dude, coke fucking wild.
I've never touched it. Never.
It's weird when I hear people from the 70s. Well, so when did you go to high school?
I'm 53. I graduated in 88.
So you graduated.
It was around.
It was around.
Yeah, but I just never.
Yeah, like when I see people who grew up in the 80s and they didn't do coke, I'm like, how? That was the time. That was a time. Now you got to worry about like sniffing a line and dying.
Right.
Like that was like the time where it was like, cool, we can do all the coke we want. There probably wasn't even a come down. Or maybe if it was, it's not like you got hit by a fucking bus like today. That was another reason I stopped doing it. I just couldn't. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Even the weed is different today too, man. I don't know. It freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I mean, they act completely different than back in my day.
I used to smoke regularly in 2005, and even from 2005, it's like not even remotely the same thing.
Yeah,
it's like
scary.
Really no, it's not. It's like it's really like one edible will send you to the fucking moon.
Right.
You know what's so strange, dude? Like when it comes to drugs, like weed is the one drug where you're literally fine. Like nothing is actually going to happen to you. You're going to be fine. But the freak out is the worst out of all drugs.
Yeah.
Like freaking out on weed is like, you think you're going to die, dude. Like,
Yeah.
You think like, you're like, I need to leave. I need to run in the forest and be alone. Like I am having a fucking meltdown right now.
Like cats, when they know they're gonna die, they just they disappear.
Dude, you become a cat. You just crawl into a hole and die. Where coke, you can go on a 3-day bender like, oh, I'm good. Make the call.
Right.
Get another bag. Like, no, you're going to explode and die. Like, you're going to fucking, you think you can. You fucking think you can. And you also think you can just talk to women and you're just fucking. I remember I got arrested at a Hooters once.
You got arrested at a Hooters? Is that what you just said?
I got arrested at a Hooters once. It was, first off, I went there to see my friend. And then I get a call from my boss at the time. And he's like, hey, Trav, you fucked up a machine. You're fired. So I got fired. And I'm like, well, now I'm doing coke. So I did coke. I was doing coke at a Hooters. And we're doing coke in a Hooters bathroom. And I'm like, hey, let's move this party out to my car. Let's finish the bag on my car. So I'm snorting this last line of coke in the car. And I hear on my window. And I look up and there's a light shining in my face. I look up with a $1 bill in my nose. And I'm like, who the fuck is that? The light lowers and I see the badge. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. I'm about to lose my job and get arrested in 3 hours. He comes out. I get arrested. As I'm getting arrested, there's a huge scene in front of the Hooters now. All the Hooters girls run out. And I'm getting handcuffed and thrown in the back of a cop car. I'm like, are you guys going to be working tomorrow? I'll be back tomorrow. And they're like, we don't care, fucking dirtbag.
You like all the mob movies where they're getting arrested, they're all confident. I'll be home by dinner.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm Henry Hill in this piece. I'm getting arrested in sweatpants on a Wednesday. In front of a Hooters.
In front of a Hooters. For some reason, that does make it worse, that it's in front of Hooters.
Oh, it was so, and just like me spitting game while getting cuffed. It was just, what are you doing?
So what was the outcome of that?
It was, I've never been like arrested before that. So I was like squeaky clean. And I just got ACOD. And they're like, just behave.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
And
good.
they're like, you don't look. Weird enough, my friend was on parole. He had gotten arrested like 7 times from like dealing heroin.
Wow.
And I was like, I was fine. He was sweating. He was like, I think I'm going back to jail for like probably a couple of years now.
Oh, my goodness.
And he gets in there. We go into our court case. He goes up first. And I was like, oh, he's getting arrested. He's going up first, dude. He gets up, ACOD, see you later. I was like, what? His lawyer just worked magic.
Wow. You're like, I want that guy.
It's a strange situation. Now, it's a strange situation when you get arrested with your dirtbag friend. Because when you get arrested with your dirtbag friend, he has a lawyer and you have a lawyer. And my lawyer was telling me he's going to try and convince the judge that it was your drugs. And we're going to have to convince the judge that it was his drugs. It's going to be you against him.
Oh, wow.
And I was looking at my lawyer like, well, he's going to be wearing sweatpants in court. So, I mean, we can't beat that guy?
Right.
It was his drugs. It's his fucking drugs. This guy's a bum. He's got like a chipped tooth in the front. That's the criminal.
Chip.
Not a good-looking guy in a suit. Fuck are we talking about here? Jesus.
That's great.
Fucking guy.
Hasn't shaved in days. It's got to be him.
Yeah. Oh no, he actually grows no hair. So he was the kid in middle school. I've been friends with him since middle school. He's been in my like high school core group of friends.
Yeah.
Since 7th grade. He was the kid who didn't grow any armpit hair, didn't grow any pubic hair, and then we beat him up because he didn't have any pubes.
Beat him up.
We were like, because like everybody started hitting puberty. We're like, show us your armpit hair. How big are your feet? That was a big thing. How big are your feet? Oh, I'm a size 9. Oh shit. Like I think size 9 was like, I'm at the right place in puberty that I need to be. And then we all start growing pubes. We're like, all right, show us your pubes. And he's like, no. And he's like, we're like, show us your pubes. And he's like, fucking no, dude. No. We're like, do you not have any fucking pubes? And he's like, I do. And then we're like, get him. And then we like tied him down and pulled his pants down. We're like, you don't have any pubes. And we started kicking him, dude. What the fuck?
He's feeling bad enough. He doesn't feel like a man as it is because he doesn't have hair yet, dude. And you guys are beating him up for it.
Yeah, we held him down, everybody on each arm, and then my friend Tommy bare ass farted in his face. He was like, no. And it was like a wind fart. He was like, no. He's like, no.
Silent but deadly. There it is.
And then fast forward the clock, like, I don't know, we're like 21. He's 6'4", 260 pounds. Big old fella.
Wow.
He's a big dude now. And I remember our friend Andrew tried to like fight him in the back of a bar when we were like 20. And it was like on ice. And my friend Andrew slipped, and my friend Shlo, like the big dude, caught him in the slip and then picked him up and dropped him on his head.
Oh, wow.
And we were like, we can't beat up Shlo anymore.
Right.
Shlo's too big.
I don't care how much hair he has or doesn't have.
Yeah. I should hit him up like, dude, send me a picture of your fucking... Yeah, and so his hands, he has like these like his hand, like his finger, his middle finger hits like there on me. Like he has tremendous hands. And I'm like, dude, how big's your cock, dude? And he's like, bro, I'm like, what is it, like fucking 9.5 inches? Like how big is this fucking dude's dick? Like when his feet are so big and goony, like when he sits on the ledge of a pool, they perch over the ledge. I'm like, you're like a fucking retarded raven. Just like a retarded bird, dude.
Retarded raven.
Like a big, mentally challenged crow. And and I was like, how big is your cock, dude? He's like, I mean, dude, that fucking, it's pretty big, but you know, like when I'm having sex, I'm on top. Girls tell me to chill out. I'm like, no homo. Pull out your cock. So now, I know what we got to do now. Now we got to get a couple of big fellas and hold him down and pull his pants down again.
Fart on him again. Knock him out so you can pull his pants down. What the fuck? This has got to be the weirdest conversation I've ever had.
Dude, if you guys met me at middle school, listen, the people in the comments, I'm sure you don't like me already. Judging off of what you have to say about me. But if you met me in like 2004, Jesus Christ, you would have fucking hated me. Holy shit. The people, because it was like, you're 13, 14. Like, I think that's the worst stage of any guy's life. Because you're just like, you're not a little kid anymore, and you're just moving to like the next stage of like, you're not an adult, but you're not a little kid. You're like at this adolescent stage, and you're just moving into adolescent stage. Like this is the first time you're around chicks. This is the first time you're playing organized sports, like for real. Like I play for a team for a school. Like just like you're on the next level of life. And you feel way more important than you are.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember we had a friend, and his mom, he had relatively young parents, and his mom was hot. And we were like, Marty, your parents still fuck, for sure. And he's like, no, they don't. And we're like, dude, they're like 38. They definitely still fuck. And he's like, no, they don't. And us just being little shithead 14-year-olds, we were like, what's your dad's name? And he was like, Ronald. And we were like, fucking dude's name's Ronald, dude. And then we just act like it was his mom getting fucked by his dad. Like, yeah, fuck me, Ronald. Yeah. We did it so much that it became such a thing in school that everyone would see him in the hallways and scream, oh, Ronald. And he would cry and run away. Oh. He was our friend. We hung out with him every weekend, but we still did it.
Right.
And then his parents got divorced, and we didn't know. And we kept screaming, oh, Ronald.
Oh, jeez.
And then I remember his brother came to because his brother was in high school at the time, and he came down to middle school. He was like, you guys keep fucking doing it. My parents are getting divorced. You keep doing it, I'll beat the shit out of you. Wow. And like he was like in 10th grade or something. And, 10th grader to an 8th grader is like, that's a fucking man, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're going to get your ass kicked. So we were like, oh, shit. And I remember one time we were playing, like, I don't know, we were just fucking around a schoolyard, and we saw his mom drive by. And then one stupid, like, we had stopped doing it already, but one stupid idiot that, like, didn't know to stop doing it screamed it. And the mom turned around and drove on the lawn of the school.
No
and, like,
shit.
Came after us. And we were like, fuck! And we were like, dude, we started running. We were booking it.
Holy
and
crap.
We snuck through this hole in the fence, and we were like, dude, Marty's mom's going to fucking run us over, dude. Like,
wow.
It was wild. It was craziness.
But she got the last laugh. The last name was Jeremy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Ron Jeremy. Damn, dude. That was fucking... I'm trying to think of other stories.
Well, and no word from you?
No word from fuck. Maybe it's just, held up with girlfriend stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got a split.
Yeah, so he's got a split. This guy's got...
You guys can keep going if you want.
Yeah.
This over here. If you want. I don't know if you want to do it. When you're done, just click. See that right there? Just click on that. That's all you got to do. I'll be back here at 3.
Yeah, he's got a split. That was cool.
Sorry about that.
No, you good. You got to do what you got to do. Got to do what you got to do. There's some parts of me that are still kind of like douchebaggish for sure. Like, I've been fucking around with a vegetarian diet, and I can't think of another reason why else am I doing this other than to feel a little better than people. Like, just to feel a little better than people. Like, I don't know what it is, but just eating nothing. Like, dude, you eat meat? It's like, do you even care about your health? Fucking fat idiot. I don't know what it is. I guess I'm afraid of getting older. I'm afraid of, like, looking older. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like once I start getting, like, real old looking face, I'm fucked. I gotta get money. I gotta get, and this is such a throwing it all on black. This career choice, dude. Like, fuck. Shit.
Going comedy, so you gotta be a vegan.
Literally. That's what you gotta do, dude. I'm trying to think. I think other jobs. Other jobs I could have had. I feel like I've always been a dickhead at other jobs though, because I always knew that like this is a day job. This is not what I'm gonna be doing. I remember when I was 20, I worked at a pizzeria, and the guy was a huge dickhead, and like I made good tips. I was a delivery guy. I made good tips, but like there was a shift pay, and towards the end of the summer, I had to go back to school, and he never paid me my shift pay. And I was like, dude, like, what the fuck's going on? And he was a man, and I was 20, so you're still kind of like intimidated of adults by then at that point in your life. And I just didn't do anything. And then I was like, I can't say anything to his face, but I'm really mad. So I bought a box of crickets at a pet store, and I released them in the kitchen. And I just fucking went back to school. I was like, peace, you fucking loser. Because he owed me like $500. He owed me like $500. And that to a 20-year-old dude is a fucking lot. My ex-girlfriend got me the job. I broke up with her too. I was like, I'm breaking up with you, and I'm putting crickets in the kitchen. And I'm going to lead that whole chapter of my life. That's what I'm doing. I don't care. Fuck that. Revenge. Sometimes you got to get revenge, dude. I'm trying to work on that. I don't think that's a good use of your time. Because you could be using that energy to put forth towards something that you should be doing, like comedy, acting, whatever you want to do with your life, instead of getting revenge. But sometimes I think you need to just fucking, because he's like, I get the fucking last laugh. I get the fucking last laugh. When I was a kid, I had a neighbor, and we would have these wars as kids. Joey Sedano, that's his name. I shouldn't be using real names.
Fucking name drop. just fuck you, kid.
Yeah, I'm just name dropping, dude. Like people, like I mean, like it's not a successful podcast, but it's.
I get called out in the comments. Like, hey, cancel these douchebags.
Yeah, I think he'd be all right with it. I think he'd be all right. He's a pretty crazy guy. He'd be all right. We're cool now, actually. We are cool. He supports me. He's like, oh, I'm happy you're doing the stand-up. But we would have these neighborly wars. We shared a backyard. There was just like, it was his yard, then my yard, and then just like a row of hedges separating the 2 yards. And then I remember one time he came over. I mean, like I was on vacation with my family and he came over and he tossed a bunch of like garbage in my pool. Like just like emptied a fucking garbage bin in my pool. And then I went over and he had a bike and I just like dumped ketchup and like all this shit all over his bike and just fucked up his bike. And then me and him met in the center of 2 yards and just duked it out. And I won. He was a skinny kid. I was a fat kid. So I just had weight on him. And yeah, then he got mad. And I sometimes I would cross through his yard just to get to somebody else's house. And he saw me and he was like, you fucking, and he's mouthing off to me. And he's like, stay right there. And he got his dad's chainsaw, but he was too weak to pick it up. And he started, and it was like, and he was just dragging it across the fucking lawn, just ruining the lawn. The dad came out and was just like, Joey, what the fuck are you doing to the lawn? Dude, like ruined the whole lawn. Oh, good God. I'm trying to think of just like other wars that we would have. Like if we made a ramp, you know what? It's okay that he's a dickhead because he would be like our ramp tester. Like if we built the ramp, we would have him test it. And like the ramp never made it apart. He would just be like driving a bike into a pile of wood, essentially. He would just be like, yo, it's a strong ramp, dude. Like, no, it's not. A bunch of third graders made it. And he would just drive his fucking bike into these ramps and they would just, and he would just go over the handlebars and smash his face in the street. He's like, no, fuck, I thought you thought the ramp would work. We're like, oh, no, dude, you just didn't hit it right. He had this guy, remember, he had this dude, Paul. So he had a really big shed and he rented half the shed to this guy, Paul. It was like an apartment. That's how big the shed was. So this guy, Paul, lived in his half shed and we would just fuck with Paul, dude. We would just like egg Paul's house. Paul loved golf. He would order all these like ESPN magazines for golf and we would just shit all over the magazines. We would just take shits all over his things. He'd be fucking, these kids are just shitting on my magazines. And he had this like fake putting green. It was like a long strip of green that had a hole at the end, and he would just putt his ball. Dude, we would just take a dump in the hole and feel like, what the fuck? Dude, he was like a grown man. I think he's dead. Yeah, that guy's fucking dead now. No, I'm not fucking with you. He's dead. Paul, God rest his soul. The guy's fucking dead. I think he died of cancer. I'm not even fucking with you. Tough luck out there, Paul. Fucking died doing what he loved. Golfing. Oh, man. Fucking poor God, dude. I'm trying to think other things. Other things with Paul. Dude, just like, so it was like my house, his house, and then across that street, all across his street was his grandma's house. And his grandma was the one that had like the big pool. So we would jump in the pool and like, during like the hottest days of the summer. And, I remember like Paul would use the pool, but sometimes he'd forget his stuff like by the pool. He'd just like throw it in the pool. He's like, I fucking can't stand you kids. But Joey's dad would take our side because I think Paul would like be late on his rent or he wouldn't pay rent some months. He
Back up a little bit. Like, pay your rent, these kids will fuck off.
Yeah, I think he would say that to him sometimes. He'd be like, pay your rent, Paul. Maybe that.
You were like the third grade mob.
Yeah, literally.
Breaking kneecaps, you were taking shits in his fucking golf.
Dude, literally, we were vandalizing was a huge thing because it was so funny. Vandalizing was hilarious when you were in your early teens. Looking back now, it's really fucking. It's a dickhead thing to do. Like, like looking back now, don't do that. Don't fuck somebody's shit up. like, I've never had my shit fucked up, but if it did happen to me, I wouldn't be mad because of all the years I was a dickhead. I would be like, yeah, I deserve it.
It's come back around.
Yeah, I would have to agree with it. I'd have to be like, okay, well, that's it. It is what it is. I think one time when I was 19, I was in Nassau. I was going to class, and it was like early spring, so it was still pretty cold out. I was walking to class, and I'm in the parking lot, and some car starts driving up behind me. I hear it, and I just hear, "Hey, fuckface, get out of the road!" And they hit me over the back with a big cup of vanilla pudding. And it like cascades over my shoulder. And it's all over my shirt. And then they peeled off in front of me and they're like, "Ha ha, dickhead." And at first I was like, "Oh, dude, I'm going to class. Now I got to wash this. I got pudding all over my shirt." And I just like, after like 2 seconds, I was like, hey, this is what you get. Sometimes it comes back around. You gotta just swallow it and be okay with it. So before you think I'm a dickhead, I'm okay with the fate that I've chosen. Okay, I'm not just an all the way dickhead. Okay, I'm an accountable dickhead. I think it's what dude, my allergies are just fucking me up. It's hard to say you don't do coke anymore, and you're sniffling every second. I don't do coke. Oh man, I definitely don't miss that, dude. It was crazy. I was in the deli before, and I saw like a few kids, and you could see that they were out last night. It's like college kids, and they were just they were just bombed, like they were just wrecked, and they were like I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna get like a sandwich, and then they're gonna look at it like, I can't even eat the sandwich right now. I looked at them, and it was like looking into like another portal of my life, and I was like, oh my God, I don't miss that. That's fucking, I don't miss that. That would, oh God, that sucks. It's the worst thing in the world. You ever do coke, BG?
You know what? Like once.
Once?
Yeah, but it was when I was way up in Fredonia, and like, what else are you gonna do? You know, like it's
Yeah.
Fredonia.
No, Fredonia sucks.
Yeah, we talked about this. Like I said, like
Yeah.
up there, it's like Northern Confederates. Like you drive around and the Confederate flags up there, and like, dude, you are so off from the South. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's one of those shitty, upstate's got a lot of those shitty towns.
Yeah, they're just like, they think they're like the shit. Meanwhile, you got Buffalo, which isn't any better, but Buffalo's fucking.
Yeah, dude.
They're idiots too.
Oh God, dude. Yeah, at least Buffalo has like a city.
Yeah, you know what? They have like 1 or 2 skyscrapers, so they can shit in the mouths of fucking Fredonia and be like, look at this, we got a building.
Yeah. I remember, yeah, there's some parts of the South too that are like that. Like, there's just certain parts of the country where you're like, dude, this is a racist ass place.
Like,
Jesus Christ.
Like, they don't even care.
Yeah.
They take pride in it.
Yeah, they do. Usually people who are like actually racist, like they don't leave. They're stupid people.
Yeah, they're not smart.
They're not smart. They're dumb. Like, cause they're very closed-minded too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Long Island's got that too. It's like, just people who like they hang out with the same fucking 8 people. They go to the same 4 fucking bars. Talk about the same like high school stories. It's like, you remember the one time we scored a touchdown, and then I hooked up with that girl, and you're like, yeah, that was in 2008. Who gives a shit? They're like, yeah.
Great pubes now, dude. Like,
Yeah. And it's like, what do you do now? I don't know, man. I'm a plumber. I do plumbing. That's what I do. I got a girlfriend. Like, I'll go home. I go out like, maybe like once a week. Do the same thing.
See, but I'm on like the opposite side. I'm 22.
Yeah, you're young.
Like,
BZ's young.
Those guys who come up to like and like hit on all like the young girls. Like one guy came up and just like bought like the entire table around a drink, and the girl who was like trying to get with, she was disgusted. He's like a hawk staring at us.
Oh God,
and, like,
dude!
she's like, hold my hand. Someone hold my 3 people hold my hand. Because this guy was fucking like hovering around the table like.
Oh.
You peak in high school. You need to fuck off, dude. Like.
I'm so afraid of. I don't think I'll become that. I think I would have became that already. I think like looking back now, like 23-year-old me, I think I got into stand-up and acting to make sure I wasn't. Like, I think I knew, like, if I didn't go the way that I went, like, I don't want to say I would have been one of those guys, those hawking at a girl guys, because I'm just not like that. Like, I wasn't raised like that.
But the degenerate at a bar kind of thing was a chance.
Yeah, just being like that loser at a bar. Like, I knew, like, I probably would have become that. Because my friends are kind of, they're not losers at bars, but they're not like, whoa, that guy's cool. Like, they're not.
They're at bars. They're not losers.
Yeah, it's like, all right, fucking, like they're not attracting 23-year-old women. Like, you know, that's a cool older guy. Like, no way, no way. Also, I think when you choose like a career, I mean, again, you know, if you have a regular job, you may be a regular guy. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like when you go to be, I don't know, if you try to make a career in like some type of art, like artsy, I don't know, I feel like you end up, because to make a career like an artsy career, you have to be like an open-minded guy. You know, you have to like have empathy for all different types of people, to understand all different types of people. That, you know, you just have a better understanding of people in the world and just like a social, you know, relevance about you. I feel like if you're doing that, you're usually not going to be that hawking at a guy, hawking at a girl guy at the bar.
Yeah.
You're not going to be that guy, because you're like that type of guy, like that guy.
This is the guy we're making fun of.
Yeah, that guy is like, he's probably at that bar alone. He's probably been there for the last 2 hours. He got there for happy hour. Nobody met him there. And he's like, maybe I could bring home a girl to my place. Hello?
Do you think they're confident? Do they think they have a chance? Or do they know that?
I think some know and some don't. The ones that don't are the ones that are dangerous because they don't care. The ones that do know,
Yeah.
and still do, because they don't give a shit. So they're just like, I'm just swinging the fences here. I don't give a fuck. My friend Mia, she's much younger. She's like 23. And it was like me, my friend Ryan, it was just a big group. And there was a guy, probably a little older than me. He was probably like 36 or something like that, 37. And he was like tanked. And my friend Mia had a friend that I've never met before. Hey, what's going on? And we were just talking. And this guy was like, he had that. You ever see someone who's really drunk and they had that, like, the pushback head where they're just kind of looking at you over the tops of their eyes? I think we've talked about this.
Absolutely.
The hammerhead shark look, where they're just like looking at you like that. And he was just like stumbling towards her. And I didn't make a thing of it, but I like kind of walked in between her and him because I could tell that she was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And so I blocked her off on that side. Then another guy came up. He was more coherent, but he still had hammerhead shark eyes. And he was like, I heard you guys talking about San Diego before. I like San Diego. And it was just like, just reaching. And I was like, damn, this poor girl is getting fucking like, I can't guard you from both sides. And I was like, oh, Ryan, come over here. And then Ryan like stepped over. And we had to like, we had to guard her. Very pretty girl, unfortunately, Unfortunately, that's what happens when you're, it was a kind of a scummy bar, and she left right after. And I was like, that shit sucks. Yeah. She's like, I need to find somewhere else to go.
Yeah. You can't
Yeah. And it's funny because like, as a guy, you don't deal with that.
No, you're ideally not the one who's doing it, but you notice it.
Yeah. Girls definitely have it worse. I will admit, girls have it like harder in life. I will admit, like, for sure. Because, like, as, if you're a good-looking guy, that doesn't happen. And even if it does, and you're like, oh, I really don't want to hook up with any of these women. Like, okay, cool. I'm stronger than them. I'll just walk away. Like, okay, see ya. Like, okay, so I would imagine what a really good-looking girl is afraid of in that situation is a stronger man grabbing you. I understand. Yeah, that's stronger. If a stronger woman, if a woman grabbed me and just like, make out with me, I'd be like, get out of here. Like, no. And then like, that would be the end of that. I would just be like, I'm going to leave now. See you later. Like, I would just walk away. That's not, it's reversed. That's scary. That's a scary fucking thing, dude. Especially if you're in the city and you're in the LIRR, you're just waiting for a train to go home, you're tired, it's like a Wednesday, you're just like, oh, and then there's just this fucking dude, and you're like, oh, I hope he's not on the Babylon line. You're like, Babylon, line 6, and then he starts following you, and you're like, ah, fuck, this guy's on my line, and then I hope he doesn't get on my fucking cable car, and then he's on your cable car, and you're like, oh, god damn it.
You can see right next to me.
And you see him like looking at you through like the fucking aisle, and you're like, this guy, if I was a chick, a regular girl, 140-pound girl, I'd be like, fuck, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's a scary thing. Watch, I'm going to get lit up because I said regular girl, 140-pound girl. Every girl's regular girl. Jesus. Sorry, guys. You know.
What do you think your weapon of choice is to defend yourself from the creeps? Like you go on like spray.
I don't know. Yeah, like what do you think? Because so the only reason I don't say taser is because I've seen videos where like there's just been this like fucking homeless guy and the cops were called and they tasered him. They shot him with the taser gun and he just ate it. And it was just like, I'm gonna get you, bitch. And he just like went on the floor and I was like, what? I think maybe if you just like drink yourself into a stupor every night, I think maybe it deadens your nerves or you deaden something in you. Maybe, you know, if you're like a tough guy to begin with and then you do extreme alcoholism, maybe makes you impervious to tasers. But that mace, dude, that mace dude is, yeah, we, at a high school party one time, someone had like a little can and they were like, let's just fucking do it.
I think that went for me too. I think it happens every high school group.
Yeah.
You hit your friends with maces.
Oh, it ruined. I forgot who had it. A girl had it, and then it was like me and two other dudes from like other grades, and they were like, "Who wants to do it?" And I was drunk, and I was like, "I'll do it." It ruined my entire night. I couldn't really sleep that night because it was like I couldn't get it out. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just dumping milk on my face. I thought that would maybe help. It kind of really didn't. And it was just rough, dude. It was like it didn't go away for like a whole day and a half. And it was like real rough. I just remember being up all night, like, it was so bad. And then it gets in your mouth and you're like, it's just like, and once it's in your mouth, you taste it. It was a real nightmare, dude. So if you can just like shrug off a mace spray, brother, you're a fucking tank. You're an animal. There is something wrong with you. You really want that chick. like when was the last time you had sex?
You're down bad. Oh, and you're in a hole.
You haven't had sex since 2011. If someone just tases you and sprays you with mace and you still have a boner, like, brother, you got a hot dose in those nuts. You're just like, I don't care. I need to release this demon. like just where did she go? I'd be like, you're a fucking freak. What is wrong with you? Christ, man. Jesus. You know what? I guess we could just cut it short. What are you going to do? I mean, we're already like 9 minutes away. So, guys, I'm sure we're going to post this, and I'm sure you'll all hate it. And I'm sure you'll just get on my back about something. Probably when I mention a girl's weight. Probably when I mention pretty much anything. But hey, listen, if you give me a chance, maybe come out to a show. Talk to me after a show. You'll see that I'm not a bad guy. You'll see that he's not a bad guy either. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Guys, I have been Travis Grant. You want to follow me? Travis Grant on Facebook. And Trav_Grant on Instagram. It's Trav_Grant on Instagram. Also follow the podcast at Treading Water Podcast on Instagram. Shows. I mean, I'm going to be in Massachusetts tomorrow and then AC on Saturday. So, man, that doesn't really help you. But, yeah, just follow me on there. I'll post my stuff. Guys, thanks. Peace out. Love you.